Come on in, come on in. Come in, come in. Hello, hello, hello. Come on in. Sorry, I had to go grab my iPad. Hello, good evening. I have someone that wants to tell you guys hi as usual. Come here. Come on. Come on. All right, whatever. I want to give people just a couple more minutes to come in. She keep looking like she want to. Come on. You want to say something? Come here. All right. All right, say something. Say hello. How are you all tonight? Come in and say hi. Bella says hello. Say hi, Bella. Say hi. Hey from Iowa. Tell her hi from Iowa. Bella. Just want to give it a couple more minutes and then we'll jump right into this. Where is everybody else at tonight? Where you coming from? Say hi. Bella, someone says Tracy says you're cute. Say thank you, Tracy. Say thank you. Dallas, what's up? Hey, Chanel. Las Vegas. Hey, Jen. Who else do we have? Bella, say who else is it? Who else out there? Dallas again. Kiza, it's a pretty name. If I said it correctly, sorry about that. That is dead as a doorknob. Okay, so do me a favor as you come in. Jen, hey girl, hey. Of a series on dating demons. Hey Jennifer from New York. Share this video. I think it's gonna be really good. I'm excited. It's been a long time waiting for me to share this, so I'm excited to begin this journey with you all. Okay, so I always like to start these things by asking questions. I like to know that you guys are participating. Who thinks or knows that they've encountered demons? You can give me some hearts, some thumbs. Bella, get down. You know, she's like a kid. When she think you're not looking, get down. Thinks she can do whatever she want to do. Who thinks they've encountered demons, or who knows that they have encountered demons? Say something. Give me some hearts. Give me some thumbs. Let me know what's going on. Yay, nay, unsure. What? Okay, I'm seeing some thumbs. I'm seeing some thumbs. So we're familiar. I have for sure. Okay, Jen. Jen has for sure. Hey, Amanda. Well, I want to know who's encountered demons, or who thinks that they've encountered demons. Fancy Face has. Okay. Did you know right away? Just broke off with the devil. All right, Jennifer. Yay for you. Okay. So I want to tell you a little bit about why Tam believes she has. Okay, Tam, I believe by the end of this, you'll be, not necessarily this live, but over the next few weeks, you'll be able to identify. Hey, Ashley. if you've encountered demons, and especially in the realm of dating, right? So I want to share with you all over the next few weeks my experience and my story of what I've entitled Dating a Demon. So oftentimes we think demons are like these ghoulish, scary, red, oh my God, I see you coming beings. Not at all. Demons are, okay, let's just go there. Definition of a demon. It's an evil personality. It is a spirit that needs a body. It is a spirit that needs a body. Demons need a willing body. Demons need an open door to go through. So you and I are not exempt. So many times Christians, especially, they get caught up on demons can't possess us, which I agree. A demon cannot possess you because we have been brought by the precious blood of Jesus Christ. How the ever. They can't own you, but they sure can occupy space and rent. And as far as I'm concerned, I don't care if you own or rent. I don't want nothing to do with it, right? And I don't want to get caught up in the semantics of can demons own you or can they just rent you? The fact that I know they can have access to my life, access to my loved ones' lives, access to other people's lives is enough for me to wake up and pay attention. And that's exactly how the enemy got me. I was ignorant. I was completely ignorant to the devil's device. I literally ran from spiritual warfare. I didn't want anything to do with the demonic. I was going to leave that for somebody else. It wasn't my ministry. I wanted nothing to do with it. But how many of you know that the enemy, right? He loves to attack you in that area that you don't know. So this entire time that I'm in this relationship, I'm dating this guy, I just had no idea how demonic that it was, how twisted that it was, because I didn't know anything about spiritual warfare. I didn't know anything about the demonic. I didn't want to learn about it. I ran from it, and the enemy attacked me, and he caught me slipping. I mean, it was just the worst. Now, let me set somebody free. Do you know that you're dating a demon? Absolutely not. So if anybody is in a relationship or you've come out of a relationship where you realize that maybe this person was under demonic influence or there just was some demonic things going on, don't feel bad, because I beat myself up so bad once I realized what was going on, because I had all these warnings. I had all these senses and feelings and hunches, the Holy Spirit, right, telling me what was going on. But because I had no idea, I didn't know what to do with it. So once I came out of it, I was more upset with myself than him, because I'm like, how did I let you get me? More about that in the weeks to come. So we talked about the definition of a demon. A demon is a spirit, an evil personality that needs a body, needs to occupy a body, right? Can Christians have demons? Everybody nod your head with me. Look to your neighbor and say, yes, neighbor, Christians can have demons. Let's dispel this notion that Christians can't be impacted by this. It has to be one of the biggest lies of the enemy to keep us enslaved, to keep us in ignorance, to keep us in bondage. The fact that we think that we are above attack and reproach from the enemy is beyond me. It's absolutely beyond me that we think that we want to count everything off as crazy. No, some of that stuff is a spirit, okay? Some of it is a spirit. So count it not mental illness. That's just the way they are. No, maybe this person is demonically influenced. Amen. Amen. So let me tell you a little bit about my story. It's unique to me, but I know that it's not the only story. I look forward to the responses and the messages, and I'm going to get after this, you guys telling me your story. But my story happens to be with somebody that was in ministry. I dated a guy in ministry, and I believe that's why my guards were so much more down because he was in ministry. And so I'm not expecting the devil to be in ministry, but I should know this, right? But I didn't. I mean, he was charming. He was doing things in the community. He could preach his pants off. The man could teach. I mean, he seemed to love people. He had a passion for God. He had a passion for people, but it was all demonic. He was under demonic influence, and I had no idea. But as I look back, I could see some things, right? I'm like, and here's the crazy thing. There was always something that didn't feel right, but because I couldn't put my finger on it, I did not know what it was, right? So again, this is just a preview to talk about how we can unknowingly, you know how the Bible says you unknowingly entertain angels? I believe that we unknowingly entertain, date demons. And of course, by demons, I just mean someone that has opened the door to demonic activity in their life. Now, how do demons enter in? Through sin. Ding, ding, ding. Number one. Unforgiveness. There's so many doors, rejection, things that can happen to you can open your life up to demons. So there's many, 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 many ways that our lives get exposed and we get open to demons. So I want to tell you, I'm trying to decide how much I want to tell you, because next week we're really going to go into the meat of all of this. So let me just start by telling you how we met. Right? So you guys, you have to tune in every week for this all to make sense and for it to all come together. So I'm in ministry, he's in ministry, but I wasn't attracted to him. He was interested in me. I just was not interested in him. Nice guy. I saw his zeal for ministry, but he wasn't my type, right? We have this type. He just wasn't, he didn't do it for me. But again, great guy. And so normally, if you're not my type, I'm not interested. But this guy was persistent. I mean, he was just own it. And I was like, no, I'm not interested. We can be cool kind of thing, but I really was not interested in taking it there. Here's the interesting thing. Before it even got to a pursuing relationship, at this point, it was just like he was showing interest, liking me. I didn't like him. I started having so many dreams about him dating other women. These dreams were so real, to the point I had one dream that he was dating a girl that went to my friend's church. I knew how the girl looked. So I called my friend. I'm like, oh my God, does a girl go to your church that looks like this? I showed her a picture of the guy. I'm like, has he ever been to your church? Because I had this dream and it just seemed so real. And she was like, no. I had another dream that we were out to eat somewhere. We were out to eat somewhere, and he thought that I was leaving. He thought I left, but I really hid under the table. It was so weird, and I overheard him telling somebody that basically he wasn't who I thought that he was. I mean, countless dreams. I had at least 5 dreams about this man, that he was dating other women, that he just had like this double life kind of situation going on. I had heard that he was talking to somebody, but I didn't know for sure because I didn't really know him like that. And so, mind you, I'm having all of these dreams. And then when he and I kind of got to the point where we were talking on the phone, I remember telling him, no, this is when at this point we were dating. And I was like, yeah, I remember, I was having all of these dreams about you, dating other women, blah, 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 blah. He got so mad. Like, he was offended. He was offended that I would even have these dreams about him. And I'm like, what you mad at me for? I didn't make myself have the dream. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't have any control over that. But his response said so much. But at the time, I didn't understand it. Why would somebody get upset about a dream? Why would somebody get offended by a dream? Hold on to that thought. So I'm having all of these dreams about him. I'm conflicted on if I should even entertain him, because for some reason, slowly over time, I was becoming interested in him. And let me tell you something about me. This is just Jasmine. I don't know what y'all believe, but as far as I'm concerned, I'm not a fan of people growing on you. I have always thought that was like witchcraft. And I say it jokingly, but I've never been a fan of people growing on you, because it makes me wonder, well, if I was not physically attracted to you in the beginning, what changed? Now, it's a difference if you say, well, I'm still not that attracted to him, but his personality or, this, that, and the third. But to go from I'm not attracted to you to all of a sudden I have this physical attraction, I just think you're just like the most amazing thing in the world, that's a little off for me. And you can ask my friends, I have friends who would tell you that I've always thought this whole growing on you thing was witchcraft, was just weird. But this man grew on me, and it was like I didn't have any control over it. It was like just literally one day, after all of my resisting and my concerns, I was just like, I think I like him. And I became interested. And the interesting thing is, like, besides the fact that I wasn't as physically attracted to him as I would have liked to have been, there were other factors that I just wasn't interested in, but all of a sudden it became attractive. He had a child. Again, my own personal prerogative, I chose to not date men with children. But it's the craziest thing. I'll never forget. It was Father's Day. And I looked at him with his child and thought it was just the most attractive thing in the world. What? Like, that's psycho. Because first of all, he should be with his child. It's Father's Day. Like, what about that was what about that was so attractive? But again, like I said, slowly over time, things that I just absolutely was not interested in, point blank period, became attractive to me. And I titled this video Stay Woke because I was clearly asleep. Like, I don't know how all of this just got by me. I went from, and I wish I had my friends here just to testify, I went from not liking him, like nothing about him. Somebody say nothing. Look at your neighbor and say nothing. I liked nothing. And no offense to him, because, you like what you like, this, that, and the third, but I had no attraction. But I went from 0 to 100 real quick. We're going to talk about psychic prayers. We're going to talk about people doing spells and voodoo on you, because I truly believe that all of that played a part in how this attraction just seemingly out of nowhere grew from nothing to, oh my God, you the best thing since sliced bread. That's crazy. So we go from this me not liking him to all of a sudden I'm just super attracted to him, and we start dating. So I know I didn't really give y'all a lot, but I want to kind of leave it there. Let's talk a little bit, because next week I want to go literally moment by moment of what happened and how it all began to unravel. But things that I can tell you right now, things that we're going to tackle over these next few weeks. Manipulation played a huge part in how I got bamboozled. Okay, I was manipulated, point blank, period. It was unique in a sense that it wasn't just him doing the manipulation, and you'll hear more about that as the story progresses. But manipulation, the things that he was dealing with, heavily impacted. I used to tell my friends he had so many, I don't want to say so many issues, like he was just so messed up, but our lifestyles were completely different. I came from a 2-parent household. He came from a single parent, had like some drug issues and just other things in his background. And so we were very different. And I thought that maybe it was our differences that caused us to have so much conflict at times. But we worked through it. But I often found myself really sympathizing, empathizing, if you will, with the little boy in him, because I was cognizant enough to realize that the reason that he's acting the way that he is because of stuff from his childhood. And I'm like, he can't help what happened to him. I mean, it was like a beautiful nightmare. Oh, that's the best. Oh my God. It was a beautiful nightmare, because this relationship truly brought the best out of me, because I never knew that I could love someone the way that I had loved him. I mean, I'm talking loving somebody through their flaws, through just some really crazy stuff, but it also was a nightmare. It was an absolute nightmare. So being with him, I learned how to love a person beyond their flaws and to want to work with them. And so when things would happen, I thought about the little boy in him, like, well, it's not his fault that, just for example, his mom didn't love him, so this is why he acts the way that he acts. So I started making excuses for his behavior, and it just lulled me more and more to sleep. It just put me to sleep like a baby. The more I tried to make excuses and the more I tried to understand. And in my mind, I'm thinking this is making me a better person. Like this is preparing me for marriage. We talked about marriage. I'm like, this is preparing me for marriage, loving someone despite all of these issues. But when that stuff is wrapped up in manipulation, it's demonic. Point blank, period. We're gonna deal with narcissism, Jezebel, Ahab. I mean, all of it was there. Spirits of seduction, rejection, isolation, abandonment. But manipulation, if I had to say one, manipulation was the biggest factor in this, because it controlled so many other factors and things. So I want to stop there and kind of recap what we talked about earlier, so that we can know where we're going to go for next week. So demons, spirits, evil personalities that need a body. They don't care who it is. It can be your mama, your daddy, your grandma, your pastor, your bishop, your apostle. It does not matter. So what I want for us to do is to open our eyes and stop being blind, thinking that the demons are only in the lost and the unsaved. Demons are in the church. They're in the pulpit. They're in the choir. They're in the the what you call that, where people sit. They're everywhere. And guess what? We can be impacted. Somebody touch yourself and say, I can be impacted by demons. We can be impacted by demons. We have to be knowledgeable. Here are, I love this book right here, Pigs in the Parlor. I've had leaders, Christian leaders, try to intimidate me and scare me from reading this book. It took me years. I bought this book years ago and I never read it. It took me years to open it. It wasn't until I kept being attacked that I'm like, God, I need help. I need resources. I need to know what's going on, that I went and found this book, and it gave me so many answers. I haven't read this one yet, but I've heard great things about it. Clean House, Strong House. This is my book for the month of March. I'll let you guys know by the end of March how it is. But it's a practical guide to understanding spiritual warfare, demonic strongholds, and deliverance. So we need resources. We need tools. We need to know how to fight against the enemy, how to just be aware of his devices and his schemes, because he's going to attack. Like, that's just a given. So Christians can be possessed. Like, I just wish we can stop arguing about that and deal with what it is. Like, let's get past the possession, the rent, the influence. Let's get past all of that, and let's deal with the fact that the enemy is attacking us. Can we get there, please? Please and thank you. Let me tell you a few ways that enemies, that demons attack us. They entice, they deceive, they enslave, they torment, they drive, and they compel us, and they defile us. So look at your life. If you find yourself being enticed to do things that are out of God's will, that are out of the norm, that just seem to be drawing you to evil, you might want to deal with a demon in your life. Daily deliverance. Every day, Lord, cast out any spirits that are in me, spirits of fear, go. Whatever it is, like, do not be afraid to go in on your own life and deal with any demons. They deceive. They're a liar. The enemy is a liar. We know that. They enslave, they torment, and torment comes through unforgiveness. Of course, we know that. They drive, compel, they defile. Demons are in disguise. Demons, the guy I was dating was a pastor. He was a minister in the church. Okay? They not coming at you with no horns on their head and no red cape. They not coming with no pitchfork. That's too easy. Because again, like, y'all, we have to wake up. Stay woke. I know we use that in a joking manner, but the enemy isn't coming in this red cape and horns and a tail. He's going to come to deceive you. He's going to come like that man that you're interested in. He's going to come like the woman that you're interested in. He's going to come through your pastor. He's going to come through the bishop. He's going to come through the mother in the church. He's going to come through the leaders. He's going to come through the saints. Like, let's not be deceived and just think that because you have a microphone and a platform that you cannot be attacked by the enemy. We got to get that out of our head immediately, because so much is happening around us and we have no idea. So next week, I'm going to tell you more about dating him and exactly what happened step by step. I just wanted to give a little preview tonight. What questions do you have, or what comments do you have, maybe about your experiences, things that you've seen? Because let me tell you something. I say this to everybody. For me, after what I've gone through, especially this last year, and dealing with demons and evil spirits in the church and being set free in my own life, it literally pains me to see other people in bondage and enchained by the enemy. And I really, like, I take it personally when I see it in God's house. And once you begin to study this and ask God to show you and reveal what's going on to you, it's gonna make your prayer life become greater, because you're gonna be like, oh my God. Like, it got to the point where I was in a church service one day. I could feel the demonic presence in the church. We're talking about in church, y'all. I could feel it, but I didn't know what it was, so I ran from it. And that's what the enemy wants us to do. He wants to scare us. But once we get the tools, the knowledge, learn from the Holy Spirit, we'll be able to stand there and fight and defeat the enemy. Luke 10:19 says that the enemy is defeated and we can overcome him. So what questions did you ever... You know what, Brittany, Lay Brittany or Love Brittany, I'm sorry. I did not ask God about revelation about my dreams. But here's what's interesting. But once you've opened yourself up to sin, I would ask God. Here's the books for somebody who asked. I would ask God, I fasted about this relationship. I prayed about this relationship. But I was already in sin, if you will, that I thought that God just wasn't answering me. I thought God just wasn't answering me, but I believe I was too deceived. I was too, I was on the fence. I was too gone to really hear from God like I should have. But the truth of the matter is, God had been answering me through the dreams. But because it didn't come the way I expected or that I thought, I ignored it. So much so that after I found all of this out, and it's just a really interesting story. By the time we get to the end of this, I can remember sitting in my apartment one day just crying like, God, why didn't you tell me? Like, why didn't you warn me? Because let me tell you this. I was not pressed to be in a relationship. I did not want to be in any relationship that didn't glorify God. I just wasn't that, I wasn't pressed about it. And so I cried like, God, I sought you out. I prayed. Why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you warn me? Why didn't you show me? Like, I felt like you literally led me like a sheep to slaughter in this relationship. And I'll never forget it. I was sitting on the edge of my couch. And like a movie, all the signs that God had shown me began to play through my mind. He was like, remember that dream? Remember when you felt this? Remember when you thought that? That was me. So we have to pay attention to the ways that God speaks to us. The way he speaks to me might not be the way he speaks to you. He might not come to you through dreams. You may read a book. You may keep seeing the same word over and over again, but God literally went through my mind like a preview of a movie, and he was like, remember when you had this dream? That was me. Remember when you felt this? That was me. And in that moment, God showed me that his word is true, that he will never leave us nor forsake us. He was really trying to show me what was going on, but I was too blind. I was deceived. I was too far gone to pay attention to what God was doing. And I just didn't know that God was speaking in that way. Like, this guy had me that fooled. I'm just like, no, like, he's such a good guy. He's in church. He's in this. He's in that. It can't be. It can't be. The enemy had me thinking that was an attack from the enemy. Like, the devil is slick, y'all. Like, we got to get our prayer game up, our fasting game up, because he's coming after us. He's definitely coming after us. What other questions, comments? God gives answers. Do you all have about this? Dating demons, demonic dating, just being deceived. Yeah, Patricia, we talked about that. Demons cannot be possessed. Christians cannot be possessed. They can be influenced. We give access to them. Apps. Are demons too needy? Yes, certain demons. I think there's certain demons that can be very needy, but they're manipulative. So they figure out, they're like predators, right? If you're a person that's really needy, that demon is going to become what it needs to be to attack you. So it really just all depends. Do you still, oh yeah, I still go to church, but I can tell you this, I believe that was a part of the enemy's attack and assignment, was to make me not go to church, because everybody, hear me, every single person that hurt me last year was out of the church. And that almost took me out. I mean, every single person that deceived me, manipulated to me, hurt me, lied to me, were from the church. And I know now that was a plan of the enemy to keep me away, to make me go crazy, thinking everybody was manipulative, thinking everybody was out to get me. Like, the enemy literally tried to take my mind. And like I said, as we go through these next week, I'm going to share more and more about that. But it's always bigger than, one, the person that the enemy is using. It's about your purpose. He's after your anointing. He's after your purpose. He's after your character. He's after your assignment. The enemy is out for blood. He wants to kill you. Frankie, yeah, church hurt. Yeah, it is the worst. But you know what though? It's people hurt. Like, people hurt you. But they open themselves up. Here's the beautiful thing, y'all. Once you understand spiritual warfare and demons, I'm not gonna say it doesn't hurt when people do things to you, but it hurts with a better perspective. And let me give you an example of what I mean. So the next time I get hurt, because it's gonna happen again, it's life, and the next time that, since I've been hurt, I now look at the spirit behind it. I don't take it personally. I'm like, oh my God, this person is dealing with rejection. This person is dealing with abandonment. This person has some issues. Yes, it still hurts, but I see the spirits now. God allows me to see the spirit behind the thing so that I can pray for it, and so that I don't open myself up to the enemy. Because what happens is, you upset, you do something to me, now I'm holding on to unforgiveness, and what that does is open the door for the enemy to come in and attack me and torment me and wreak havoc in my life. No offense. There's a book called The Bait of Satan. Oh, the enemy comes in real good through the spirit of offense. And what you will find is, with a lot of people that are spiritually, demonically influenced, they're very offensive. This guy was dating, extremely offensive. I mean, you poke him, he falls apart. Like, he took everything so personally. And again, I didn't understand it at the time. I'm just thinking like, what the heck? Like, what is up? But on the other side of this, I understand now. Yeah. What other questions or comments? We're going to spend about 5 more minutes. Yeah, we wrestle not against flesh and blood. That is so true, Nicole. And like I said, once you get that revelation and that wisdom and that understanding, you really start to look at people as in their spirit. And you try to understand. You really do. You try to understand. And I thank God for that. Because these folks tried to kill me last year. They tried to drive me crazy. Thank you, Frankie. The spirit of offense. Absolutely. That is a real spirit. 100%. What else we got? And I saw somebody said something about my Packers. My daddy got me this, and I'm from Wisconsin, so if someone is extremely jealous, that's a demon, right? Absolutely, it can be. That can most certainly be a spirit. I did, and I can tell you more about that as I go in. Did I stay at the same church? I did. What kind of dreams did you have as a warning? Rose, I was just having dreams that he was dating other women, that he was involved with other women, that he was leading this double life, that he wasn't who he said that he was. Let me see. I'm going to look at my iPad if it's dead. I write like all of my dreams down to see if I recorded any. I know they're on my phone, but I would just have these dreams that he dated other women, that he just was not who he said that he was. Miss Martins, I'm going to ask that you just go back to the beginning and you'll be able to see my testimony, but we're going to be here every week and I'll share it again because I didn't even dig into the depth of it. I just kind of touched the surface. I'm just looking to see if I can find one of the dreams so I can share it with you all. I mean, crazy, and that's the thing. You have to know your gift also. Wow, Meg says every bad relationship I've ever had was preceded by a bad dream. See, I didn't realize that God spoke to me through dreams. So I didn't know what was going on. And this is why we have to ask God, how do you speak to me? I have had dreams about my man cheating more than once. Would I be wrong to you? Nicole, I would say pray. Pray about that and ask God, because truthfully, sometimes it can be paranoia, insecurities. It can be a lot of reasons and things that sometimes we conjure up our own dreams. So you have to take that into consideration as well. But take it to God. He'll show you. Where is that dream? So would that have been 25th? That was 2016. What other questions I've been built out of? Was that 20? I don't even know what year this was. I went through the very same thing. Yeah, girl, this man definitely had a secret life, honey. I would just say random things that he was doing after we broke up. I found out all of them were true accusations. So what do you mean, Ashley? Like you were just, like, what do you mean? In my dream. Oh, well, you know, most times that you have dreams about snakes, more than likely is demonic. Hey, Destiny. How have your prayer life changed from then to now? I wasn't praying like I should have been back then. My prayers are much more intentional. Like I said, I pray for deliverance for myself all the time, for my family. My prayers are definitely a lot more deliverance based. Oh, okay. Ashley, we may have to get together one day. You have a crazy testimony too. Maybe you'll want to share. We can do that. Let me know what you think about that. But I've learned that I learned that those prayers are just God protect me, keep me. I mean, those are cool, but I needed to know what I was dealing with. I come against this spirit of deception. I come against the spirit of manipulation. I come against the spirit of will binding, psychic prayers. I had to get specific because I realized that there were specific demons after me. It wasn't enough to just protect me from evil. I needed to know what I was dealing with, and so my prayer life became a lot more specific. So now when I see spirits on people, or I see what's operating or what's at hand, I mean, and here's the thing, y'all. It don't have to be anything super deep. I tell my girlfriends all the time, I said, when you see these demons manifesting in folks, call it out right then and there. You ain't got to be loud. If you was sitting next to me acting a fool and I saw this spirit of, let's say, manipulation, I just like spirit of manipulation. I call you out. The blood of Jesus is against you. You ain't got to be, I mean, that has a time and a place. But somebody put that question back up about how long were we dating. I want to answer that if it was another part to that. But call that stuff out. Do not be afraid. Do not be afraid to call that stuff out when you see it. Look up for snakes, Alicia, like for real. It don't take all of that. You can just be like, you spirit of deception, I cast you out. You ain't gotta robo shikaya. Sometimes you ain't got time for it. You just need to deal with that thing right then and there. A couple things about snakes. Typically deception. Look up the python spirit. That's one that has to do with snakes. Look up the python spirit. That's a good one. I was looking for this these dreams. I don't know why I can't find it. Dated my flight. Me and him dated for less than a year, but it was a crazy, crazy time, I tell you. Crazy. But what's even more crazy, like, I was really in love with him. Like, that was my boo. He has secret accounts. I know he's gonna. Yeah, they're liars. The truth just ain't in them, girl. They just be lying. And I think lying to the point where they don't even know they lying sometimes. I don't know. Next week when we get on, I'll try to have these dreams because for some reason I cannot. Well, I think I found one. That 3 to 1. No, that was another crazy dream I had, though. Well, let me give you an example of some of the dreams that I was having while even in the relationship. So this was September 23rd, 2015, 6:47 a.m. I was going to a club, which I don't even go to clubs, so I don't know what that represented. But I was going to a club and there were dead people walking in. There was a guy that he sung in a choir at the church that I was at. He was in the dream and he was looking around for his friends. They lined up and their eyes began to roll to the back of their head with their mouths open. So walking around, I walked past a girl who was about to kill people. I heard her say she was going to kill people. I ended up in the same room with her and I hid in the closet. Water began to enter into the closet, so I got wet. A girl I went to high school with saw me and she mouthed, "What are we going to do?" The girl came in and forced her to get in the tub. And y'all I just wrote it like, I'm waking up out of my sleep. So this is how I'm writing it.